let you know when we're live.
You ready? Very good. Russell, you get back into the field much?
All right, which wild person has got audio on and we get, where's my cursor? Hey.
We're live now, Senator.
All right, welcome to the Marine Resources Committee meeting for April 20th, 2021, where we have a very easy day. I'll give you a little update. So LD 28, we're still looking for a little bit of information back, so we're not going to do that today. We're going to move that further. Expect that on May 4th. That's probably when we're going to do it. And I say that only because we aren't going to meet next week that I can tell. We're doing well. We're ahead of schedule. Everything's looking good. We had some technical changes for 263 that we're going to talk about, but just for that, it didn't seem worth it. So we will have our next meeting on the 4th of May with a few things that will be coming up. And that's about the time we'll be voting stuff out because we're getting near the deadline. So we'll still have work to do a little bit, maybe after that, but we'll just try to finish voting on anything we have. So that takes care of that for today. Lynn's going to give us a language review today. We're going to talk about dragging and aquaculture. We'll get to that in a minute. And we'll start by having everyone introduce themselves. And I'll start since I'm talking. I'm Dave Mehrmont. I represent Senate District 12, which is Knox County with the county seat of Rockland and all but the town of Washington. And with us today, we have Linda LaCroix, who is our committee clerk there, yes, and thank you, and does an amazing job, does things that we never even know she's doing back there that keeps this running so smoothly. And you might have noticed that in that last meeting. Some of our committees have that every single day. And, you know, and it doesn't ever go that smoothly. And here we occasionally jump into something like that and it went perfectly. So thank you, Linda and Lynn Caswell, our analyst, who make sure we're staying within the main statutes with what we do. So thank you, Lynn. And now I will move to someone. Ally Co-Chair, Representative McCreight. Go ahead.
Thank you, Senator. I'm Jay McCreight, representing Harpswell, West Bath, and Northeast Brunswick in the House. Good morning.
Good morning. You want to call people or you want me to?
Happy to.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Representative Hutchins.
Morning. I'm Sherm Hutchins. I represent District 131, the towns of Penobscot, Orland, Dedham, Otis, Verona Island, Prospect, and Stockton Springs. Thank you.
And Senator Rosen.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Kimberly Rosen, Senate District 8. My district goes from Castine all the way up to Lincoln. I have 17 towns in Hancock County and Penobscot County. I live in Bucksport.
Thank you. Representative Hepler.
Good morning, Madam Chair. And members of the committee. I'm Allison Hepler, as you know, and I live in Woolwich, and my district includes Aroustic, Georgetown, Pittsburgh, Dresden, and a small part of Richmond. And I wanted to give a shout out to Senator Mehrmont. I drove through your district yesterday, or part of it, so.
Yay.
Lovely.
Representative Stanley.
Good morning. I'm Representative Stanley. I represent District 143, which is Long A Township, Hersheytown, Patton, East Millmarket, and Medway, the Katahdin area.
Thank you. Representative Crafts.
Morning, I'm Lydia Crafts. I represent House District 90, which includes Newcastle, Damascotta, Bristol, Bremen, Monhegan, and Louds Islands, and parts of South Bristol and Noblesboro.
Thank you. Senator Maxman.
Hi there, I'm Chloe Maxman. I represent Senate District 13, which is all of Lincoln County, except for Dresden, plus Washington and Windsor. And I'm about to hop off for a public hearing, but I will be right back.
Thanks. Representative Valley.
Yes, good morning. I am Robert Alley, and I have District 138 pretty near all of down East Maine. And have a good day.
Thanks. Representative McDonald.
Good morning. I'm Representative Genevieve McDonald. I represent House District 134, which is the offshore islands of Penobscot Bay and Western Frenchman's Bay.
Thank you. Representative Bloom.
I'm Representative Lydia Bloom. I represent House District 3 in York.
Thank you. And Representative Folkingham.
Good morning. I'm Representative Billy Bob Falkenham. I represent House District 136.
Thank you. I think I got everybody. Did I miss anybody? No. All set, Senator.
Yay. All right. Thank you. All right. Since we're going to be doing work sessions only, I'll just get this paperwork out of the way, then we can just move along. And we do have a quorum. I'll start the work session, and it's not that new to us anymore. So the purpose of a work session is for the committee to receive information from staff and others in order for members to consider the legislative proposals before them and make recommendations or reports to the legislature. Only committee members, the committee analysts, and those specifically invited to attend will be participating in the work session using Zoom. For members of the public wishing to observe this meeting, it's being live streamed on the committee's YouTube channel and will also be recorded for viewing after this meeting is concluded. We are also broadcasting the audio of this meeting on the legislature's website, www.legislature.maine.gov. It'll be recorded. Not speaking, remember to mute your microphone. Check your names appear properly. I forgot to look at that, but it seemed like they were all right. The public meeting, and while we are meeting, discussion must happen on screen and not by the way of the chat. The chat is only for a technical issue or a question of the clerk or something. Well, that's still technical in a way. So it's not for a conversation. And let the clerk know if you're having any technical issues so she can try to help you. The usual format for speaking with leave of the chair, acknowledging the chair, and then asking for a follow-up, which pretty much automatic for one follow-up. After that, I'm going to make sure that the committee's going in rotation so nobody loses their thought down the road. That's how what I'm thinking about when I'm doing that with you. And you've been provided with all the testimony, or it's on the website. You can look back from the public hearings to review it if you need to, or however you keep yourself organized. We'll make sure we have a quorum to vote, and Linda's very good about reminding us of that. So I'm going to open the work session, and I actually, before I open it, I've done the paperwork so we can. Lynn, you want to do that language review first or after? Does it matter?
Does not matter, Senator.
All right, let's go into the work sessions, and I'll open
Senator,
up.
excuse
Yes.
me just a sec. I think we have a new member has joined us. Not new.
Great.
But could Representative Thorne, could you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Representative McCreight. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Jim Thorne. I represent District 103, which is Carmel, Herman, and a portion of Etna up in beautiful Penobscot County. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we'll just go down the list of this calendar that Lynn sent me. So that will be LD 332. So I'm going to open the work session on LD 332. There it is. Let me see what other notes I have to tell you about. No. You know, try to keep to 3 minutes. I'm kind of, no, that's a why is that public hearing thing? Anyway, never mind. Committee can talk all you want. All right, good. We are on a roll here. So LD 332 regarding Frenchboro dragging, and I believe Representative McDonald has an amendment, and go ahead, Representative McDonald.
I do have an amendment, but first I'd like to invite Justin Boyce into the work session. He's a member of the Scallop Advisory Council who fishes in that area. And I believe he's in the waiting room.
Any objection to that, committee? Seeing none, Linda, could you let
He's on
him?
his way in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I do have an amendment. Do you need me to make a motion before we open discussion?
We do need to, no, we didn't table this. This is just in the regular progression of things. So Lynn, go ahead.
Senator, you did table this, so perhaps a motion to remove from the table with hand votes
Yeah,
would be
Okay.
appropriate.
anybody, motion.
Motion to
Yes,
take this bill off the table.
okay, and Representative Hepler seconded that motion. And video on, and we will raise our hands if we're approving the removal from the table. And it is unanimous for the people who are actually here. So great. So LD 332 is now in play.
Excellent. And then I have, sorry, can I continue speaking?
You can, now Lynn usually would give us the overview first, but if you want to, I mean, I don't think it matters. She's going to be kind of presenting what you're telling us about too. So I think without any other issues, nope, go ahead. Thanks, Representative McConnell.
I just have one more request. If we see David Tarr come into the waiting room, that he also be allowed into the meeting.
What's his?
He is a
status?
scallop diver and a local fisherman who operates in that area.
Okay.
I'll
Thank you.
watch for him. I don't see him as of yet.
More importantly, he's the father of 4 of my granddaughters.
Good.
Nice. Well, he's not here, so go ahead, Representative McDonald.
Oh, and I'm happy to pass it over to Linda to take it away now.
Okay, Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So LD 332 is about the Frenchboro area dragging exclusion zone. The bill directs the Commissioner of Marine Resources to evaluate the size and the boundary of the dragging area where dragging and scalloping are prohibited. The bill did not specify how DMR was to reevaluate the area. I believe there was quite a bit of discussion about that at the prior work session. Under the bill, the evaluation would need to be done within 90 days of the effective date. And it allowed the commissioner, does not require the commissioner, allows the commissioner to modify the dragging exclusion zone based on that evaluation that the department would conduct, and then adopt routine technical rules if necessary. So Representative McDonald was the sponsor of this bill, and the department testified against this bill. They said that they were generally in favor of flexibility, but did not see a reason to do this at this time. There was a lot of discussion about the history of why this exclusion zone was developed. And the cable company, Versant, testified neither for nor against, and basically said they were willing to work on a solution. So there was, as I said, there was discussion about the size of the exclusionary zone, the method that the department would use to evaluate. And at the end of that work session, it's Tuesday, but it's really only Monday, and I'm having trouble talking. The committee decided to table that bill to allow for more time and evaluation, and I'm going to end my bill analysis at that.
Thank you. And Representative McDonald.
Thank you. So we tabled the bill and we asked the department to meet with the Scallop Advisory Council and then report back to us. And so now I would like to ask Commissioner Kelleher if that has occurred.
Commissioner,
It has not occurred yet.
thank you. I thought
Follow
that
up.
was towards the end of April, that it was supposed, that they had a meeting or something and you thought they were going to talk about that. Is that right?
Yes, Senator, we had hoped to have something scheduled the end of April, early May. I have not checked with staff to find out what the timing is, but we still always, we always have an SAC meeting to wrap up the year and kind of revisit how the year went with the SAC, but that has not occurred yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember that discussion. Okay. We did, I do remember that you had talked to Marine Patrol and that there'd been incidents in the past, but they were gone because of that clear line of sight for this bill. That was pretty powerful. But Representative McDonald.
Thank you. So the Scallop Advisory Council has in fact not met since 2019, but at their last meeting, they did discuss this potential legislation, and I have invited Justin Boyce here today to share with us what the results were of that discussion. So Justin, if you may, can you share with us that conversation and what the vote was?
Yes, I can. We voted on that. I'm about to get boarded by a Marine Patrol at the moment. I'm out on my boat. Yeah, we talked about, the vote was 601. I think that the representative from Eastport was the only one who didn't vote to pass that. And basically the idea was that it's the only cable zone that's not the regular cable zone, the regular shot, plotter. I'm on a meeting with the DM for the bill for the French Grove cable zone. So. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So yes.
Yeah, Mr. Boyce, Representative McDonald, do you have a specific question?
I did, yes. I was just wondering what the vote was.
Okay, we got that. Good. Thank you. Appreciate it. We can let you get back to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, we went through that thing and I can't understand why that they say it's hard to patrol, because it is on everybody's plotter now, where when they put the bill in, there was
It's
no
not
plotter.
time for testimony and certainly not,
Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks. Have a great day. Good luck.
You too.
Okay. And Representative Hepler, was that a question? You just waving hello? Yeah, I do that too. Representative McDonald.
I'd like to make a motion and I'd like to propose an amendment. And I would like to make a motion that this bill ought to pass, and that the amendment is that we reduce the Frenchboro cable area prohibition to the cable area as defined by the US government.
Okay, we have a motion. And we need a second, and
I'll second it.
okay, Representative Alley is seconded. Commissioner.
Thank you, Senator Maramont. Just from the amendment standpoint, you wouldn't need an amendment. You would just remove the existing language. The cable area would be there as it is charted. You wouldn't have to make a reference to that. I do want to go back though quickly to reference the vote at the SAC. The SAC did not have all of the information that was brought forth by Colonel Carroll during your last work session around this area. The department continues to have a lot of reservation from an enforcement standpoint based on the history that we have within that area. Yes, it's true that people have these areas plotted now from a technologically standpoint, but people who are going to break the law don't worry about what's on their plotter. So those enforcement issues continue to remain. I would rather have you, if you wanted to pass a bill, I'd rather have you pass the bill that was originally submitted and allowed us to have some additional conversations with the SAC with further information about the history we have there versus passing an amendment that would go back to just the cable area itself. We believe that remains problematic. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Commissioner. And we are in the discussion about this motion. part right now. And I also would just, I'm glad that I'm sorry, he's gone now. Blanking on his name, was reporting that vote, that informal vote that still was not unanimous. And his opinion on the law enforcement ease or ability at all, I think we've heard from the commissioner and law enforcement, Marine Patrol representatives that it is an issue. It was an issue before. So just to throw that in there too. Representative McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I coughed on mute, so that was good.
No, well,
Yeah, I am concerned about, it feels like jumping ahead before we have all that information. So I wonder about going, I don't think I can support the amendment to restrict it to just the cable area without further discussion. I think there was, I think it was discussed maybe narrowing it some, but not that narrow. I would rather see us get more information, which could be a report back whenever we think we can get it, which could be I don't know if it's possible in May. If this council's going to meet and if Marine Patrol can do, the discussions can happen. I'd kind of like to see all that happen. That's my feedback at this point.
Thank you. Representative Fockingham.
Yeah, so it's the only cable area that is like that. So, and enforcement does a good job of keeping up with all the other cable areas, and not just enforcement, but the draggers themselves. And also, there are lines like that when they've done the exclusion zones, and the fishermen always seem to do a good job of staying out of where they're supposed to, especially when their license is at jeopardy. So, I'd be in favor of the amendment, but I'd be in favor of us going with the original bill too, and letting them have some more discussion on that. It's not scallop season right now anyway, so I think it would probably be a good thing to have some more discussion on that, and then hopefully the commissioner could open it after that. Those are my thoughts.
Thank you. Representative Hutchins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a relatively common thing to me to have a Sunday lunch that has quite a few Zone C fishermen in it. I have 3 sons, including David, that fish in the area, and 4 grandchildren that do some fishing in the area. And so a Zone C meeting is lunch at my house quite often. And we discussed this several times in the last couple of Sundays, and the general consensus was that they kind of liked the commissioner's take on it, and the fact that the cable zone is a little bit unique in that it does need to be protected well. It has worked well as a conservation area. It doesn't work all that well for diving. David is one of the few divers that still dives there, but it's too deep to cover much of the area. He can only cover 5% of the area, something like that. So it ends up being more of a conservation area. But he's not sure that, I think the consensus of my group was that if it's left alone, it won't look like we're opening it up and then maybe a next year closing it back down. So we need to do it, if we're going to open it, we've got to do it carefully with quite a lot of thought. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative McDonald.
Thank you. I would be amenable to continuing having this discussion. I am concerned that the SAC hasn't met in quite a long time, and so I hope that that will happen in the very near future.
I think we have that commitment, at least. Commissioner.
Yeah, I would just remind the representative that we have been dealing with a little pandemic, which has impacted our ability. We find that those meetings are always better face to face when we can have them. The SAC is a very valuable tool for the department, and we will continue to use them as we need to. There has been a lull in a lot of the changes, and so that is why the SAC is not met as much as it had in the past. So we're nearing the end of our 10-year rotation. So my expectation is the SAC is going to be incredibly busy in the near future. So.
Thank you. Representative Hepler. Oh, sorry, were you still talking?
I should point out to Representative Hutchins that he may not have had a quorum at that luncheon for Zone C. So we just need to be careful on how we represent that luncheon meeting.
Representative Hepler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So did I hear Representative McDonald correctly that she might be willing to remove her amendment, or because I heard you say that you were amenable to continuing the discussion? I just wanted some clarification.
So did I. I was just about to get to that. Can remove the motion. We can vote the motion, and we could have a new motion with a report back. All these are possible. Representative McDonald, what would you like?
Thank you, Chair. So I would accept a friendly amendment to remove my amendment and move forward with the motion, which is ought to pass without being as amended.
Okay. And
I can second that if that's a motion.
yeah, thank you. So that's moved and seconded. So now we're back to the original bill. And I would like Lynn to just, unless everybody has it right in front of them, just quickly go over what the original bill does so everybody's going to know what they're voting on, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So the original bill makes a few changes in statute. It allows rules adopted by the department to change the Frenchboro area, the definition of the Frenchboro area. It requires the department within 90 days of the effective date of the act to evaluate the size and boundaries of the Frenchboro area. And it permits, does not require, the commissioner to adopt and amend rules that define the Frenchboro area. So within 90 days, they evaluate, how they evaluate is left up to the department. And based on that evaluation, the department may amend the boundaries of the Frenchboro area, and they may adopt rules, routine technical, to accomplish this.
Okay, so now everybody knows, and that is what we're voting on. Representative Hepler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm sorry, is there a deadline, 90 days or something like that, Lynn?
Yes, the department has to complete the evaluation within 90 days of the effective date of the act.
Okay. Representative McDonald.
So just to clarify, if we pass this bill, it wouldn't be signed into law for how many days, and then it would be 90 days after that. So it's actually a pretty lengthy time period, correct?
Yes, not being an emergency, 90 days after the next adjournment. We adjourn regularly now, so it's hard to keep track. But 90 days after what, Lynn, now that we're already adjourned?
It would be 90 days after the adjournment of this special session. So
Okay.
if you would, so it would be 90 plus 90 in reality.
Good. Representative, let me see, Fockingham, then Hepler. Muted.
I'd like to add an amendment to this bill that the department does a report back, so that if the conclusion of their findings is that it should be a normal cable area, that we can change that in statute.
And I'm lost on that one because I think the bill is saying that it gets that analysis, and then the department has to report back their findings. So whatever they report, we could make happen. Let's have Lynn clarify that one.
Okay, I just had a little confusion on that because in the bill, it says that the commissioner can make rules to where the boundaries need to be. But the commissioner said that if we want it to be just the cable area, then all we have to do is remove that zone. So it sounds like if we don't do that in statute, that the zone will still be there, except it will be some certain rules where he has made a boundary around it. And if we want to make it just a cable area, that we have to do that in statute. That's what I took from what the commissioner said.
All right. And Lynn, you?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure that you need to change the statute. What the bill says is that the commissioner can adopt rules that basically redefines the Frenchboro area. I think, though, that Representative Fockingham makes a good point that the statute will say Frenchboro is this area, and then you have to go to the rules to see how it's been changed. So the commissioner can change Frenchboro dragging exclusion zone by rule, though I would suggest it might be a good idea to think about whether to memorialize that in a statutory change at some point in the future, if it happens.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and now we have an amendment without a second to that motion. And well, hold on, I just had Representative Hepler, then Representative McDonald.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And maybe this will be answered in the next question. But oh God, I forgot what I was going to ask. Oh, I know. I don't know enough about when the scallop season starts. But is this something, if we don't enact this until 90 days after we adjourn, that's going to put it into the fall, and then 90 days after that, will this mean that we might miss another scallop season?
I think scallop season just closed, so we're okay on that, but somebody with the exact dates, such as Commissioner or Representative McDonald, you're next.
December.
Yeah. Thank you. The scallop season will start in December, and so there's still ample time if we pass this now to get this through. And then I just raised my hand to say that I would accept Billy Bob Falkingham's friendly amendment to my motion. But I can't second it because it's my original motion, so.
Okay, and Representative Hepler?
I can second that.
Okay, so that's been moved and seconded. I see no other, I do see a hand. Representative McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A question for Lynn. So writing up this, we would then look at it in language review and figure out, make sure it's all these amendments are there at that time. That would be sufficient to do what we need to do. Is that right?
That's correct, Madam Chair. I would just ask that perhaps the committee decide on a report back date so that I can put that in the amendment if you move forward with that.
Okay, Representative McDonald.
And I'll confer with Representative Falkingham, because it is his amendment, but I would think next year would be the appropriate report back date. Is that what you were thinking as well, Representative Falkingham?
Yeah, February would be good, probably.
Okay, we'd be meeting then. We could hear that. And Representative Bloom.
I'm sorry that I had to step away for a little emergency. I'm back, and I would just like, before we do any votes, to please just get me up to speed on what we're voting on, what the motion is, and please, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, another little review would not hurt that at all. So Lynn, if you know where we are, please not just the motions, but what each does ultimately. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I believe that it is an ought to pass as amended motion that requires the department to report back to this committee in February of 2022. And I believe that's the only amendment to this bill that's been discussed.
Okay. So now that amendment had the agreement of the maker of the motion, and I think the second, which was Representative Alley, I believe. I think he was in agreement there. So that is the motion that we will vote on, will be the not amendment, not amending, but the motion with the amendment that she just explained. That's what we're going to vote now. We have one vote, and Representative Bloom.
Yes, I'm sorry. So the only mandate in the bill then is a report back, not how it should be done or where it should be done, but the only mandate in the bill is a report back.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
there is the mandate that the department evaluate the size and boundaries. So that there's the mandate to evaluate. You're correct, Representative Bloom, that the way they evaluate is not specified in the statute. So it would be, they must evaluate and then they must report back.
We are not changing the boundaries with this vote. We are initiating a process that will give us the most information available, and that report back will come to us in February next year to then deal with the actual boundaries of the dragging zone. Is that correct? Okay, yes. Representative Bloom.
Thank you. I think that kind of clears it up, but I did hear a little bit from Patrick Kelleher that he did not like this amendment. And what was his reasoning? Or did I get that wrong?
It was a different amendment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. And he's not here, but if that, I mean, that answers it. That is different. Okay. All right. I have no other hands. So we're ready to vote. Linda, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody turn on your video and unmute yourself. And Representative Alley.
Yes. I vote yes on that.
Oh, good. Thank you. But hold on just a sec. When Linda calls, then thank you. All right. All yours, Linda.
Okay, thank you. Starting with you, Senator Miramont.
Yes.
Representative McCray.
Yes.
Senator Maxman.
Yes.
Yes.
Representative Alley.
Yes.
Representative Falkingham.
Aye.
Representative Bloom.
Yes.
Representative Hapler.
Yes.
Representative McDonald.
Yes.
Representative Crafts.
Yes. Yes.
Representative Hutchins.
Yes.
Representative Stanley.
Yes.
And Representative Thorne.
Yay.
That's 13 in favor, unanimous.
Thank you, Linda. Okay. With the unanimous vote, the motion to study and report back on LD 332 passes. That closes the work session on LD 332. And now we will move on to a work session on LD 1146, which is aquaculture. And I open that hearing for that work session for LD 1146. And Lynn, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am going to share my screen on the bill analysis that I sent to you all. So this was a concept draft that was presented to the committee. The sponsors, Representative Alley and Representative Williams, also testified in favor of this bill. The department testified against this bill. There were, as you will recall, many people who testified both for and against this bill. Too many for me to list, but I think it's still fresh in our memory. The sponsor, Representative Alley, did present an amendment, which I attached to the document. What you see in front of you is the highlights of the amendment. The amendment would create a 15-member task force convened, that says conveyed, but it would be convened by DMR to develop a strategic plan and roadmap for Maine's aquaculture industry. It would examine DMR's staffing and resource capabilities to oversee the industry. And it would require rights to revert to the state. I think all of these concepts that I'm going to lay out or that are in front of you on the screen were discussed by the people who testified. It would require that transfers or renewals of leases demonstrate compliance. It would require the Natural Resources Protection Act and site location laws to apply to leases over 5 acres. It would require applicants to demonstrate that there was no alternative site with a lesser impact. It would limit the total leases to 50 acres in area. It would limit ownership to no more than 10 leases or a total area of 250 acres. It would designate certain waters in the state as expedited permitting areas. And it would apply all these changes to pending applications. The Office of Fiscal and Program Review has not yet provided a fiscal note, which isn't unusual when it's a concept draft. And as I said, I included a more lengthy discussion of the sponsor's amendment with the bill analysis that I sent to you all. Would you like me to leave this up, Senator Miramont, or take it down?
Take it down, please.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I noticed it was such an inspirational public hearing the other day because of listening to the depths that people have gone to work with their neighbors with more traditional uses, the people that are doing this. I mean, it was really impressive. And again, sorry, Representative Alley, but it was 2-1 against this bill with a lot of people who love aquaculture and who respect their neighbors. So I know where I'm leaning, and you can probably guess, but Representative McDonald has her hand up.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to make a motion ought not to pass.
I have a motion ought not to pass. And I have a second by Representative Alley, seconded that. So, and I will take discussion, but I don't see any hands.
No need.
All right, Linda, please.
Again, starting with you, Senator Miramont.
It's ought not to pass, and I agree with that. Yes.
Okay. Representative McCreight.
Yes.
Senator Maxman.
Yes. And then
Senator Rosen.
Yes.
Representative Alley.
Yes.
Representative Falkingham. Has he left?
No.
We'll come back. Representative Bloom.
Yes.
Representative Hepler.
Yes.
Representative McDonald.
Yes.
Representative Crafts.
Yes.
Representative Hutchins.
Yes.
Representative Stanley.
Yes.
Representative Thorne.
Yay.
And has Representative Hutchins come back? I mean, Falkingham come back? I don't see him.
He left for the day.
Oh, he has. Okay. So that would be 12 in favor, 1 absent.
Okay, and that means that the ought not to pass passes. And so that ends the work session on LD 1146. We have one more piece of business with Lynn doing a language review for us from previous bill. And it's yours, Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I sent all of you a amendment to LD 1182, which is an act to allow commercial lobster license holders to possess a marine harvesting demonstration license. The committee voted ought to pass as amended unanimously. The amendments, and what I sent you had two amendments, and I'm getting ready to share my screen. There was one that I forgot that I have since added. So the two amendments that you saw already are the second one here, where the amendment was to clarify that the buoy for the marine harvesting demonstration license had to be different in color and pattern from the buoy used for the commercial license. The second amendment is on the down below, which gives the commissioner the ability to suspend the commercial license if the person violates the marine harvesting demonstration license. The language that I forgot that Deirdre Gilbert from DMR pointed out, which I do believe that the committee voted for this as an amendment, is the top one. And that is that the trap limits of the vessel used for the harvesting, the trap limits for the commercial license apply for the harvest license. So they can't exceed that trap limit. And I did show Deirdre this language that you have yet to see, except right now. And she indicated that she thought it was worked. But I have not shown this to Representative, to the rest of you.
Great, but I do remember discussing it. I remember it being brought up several times. So I'm glad you caught that and that it's in there and that looks correct for language. And thank you. Great, perfect. Okay, so there's nothing that needs to be done. That's just for your information. So sorry we dragged this meeting along so long today. If only labor could be like this. But in any case, anybody want to bring anything up? This is your chance, and Representative McCreight does.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Lynn can verify, but I believe we have a work session on that wonderful airboat public hearing that we had.
Right.
That I forget which date it was. It's seared in my memory, but I believe that'll be on the 26th, and we'll get notices of that. But I just wanted to give people a heads up that that is probably, it's confirmed, I guess. Yeah, Monday, the 26th at 10, I believe.
Thank you. Which committee's better, Linda? Senator Dills or mine? No.
I refuse to answer that.
I figured you wouldn't.
I do want to just make, if I may,
Yeah.
actually, I have in my records that the meeting is starting at 9, not 10.
Right.
So I will verify that though, just to be sure, and let you know.
And it'll be, the link will have the right time also. So good.
It will.
Thank you. And Representative Hutchins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Clarification, I think more than anything else, maybe Lynn can tell us if a lobsterman is doing this process and having people on board to pull these specially marked traps, then comes the end of the year and it's time for him to pull all of his traps up. Does he still get to keep the fish that are in those traps and sell them, or how does that work?
I would defer to the department on the answer to that question, Representative Hutchins. And I don't know if Deirdre is listening.
Yeah, she's coming in. You got that question, Deirdre?
I believe so. Thank you, Representative Hutchins. So I think it's our expectation that those marine harvesting demonstration traps nothing is ever retained from those, kind of in keeping with the requirements for those traps in law. So even at the end of the year when they're being brought in, they're just being brought in as a demonstration piece of equipment, not as a commercial fishing trap.
Thank you. And so that means that if Representative Hutchins does this and he has his 800 traps, he can now have 800 plus the differently colored marked additional traps? Because why wouldn't he be able to keep what's in one of his 800 traps if it was just one of the 800 traps, which is all we're allowing him under this rule?
If I'm understanding you, Senator Miramont, the language that we just looked at would limit this person to 800 traps total. So
Right.
they decide how many traps do they want to use for demonstration purposes, up to 20. So they don't have to use the full 20. They could just use, say, 5 for demonstration purposes, and then use the other 795 for commercial purposes.
So they're giving up, well, they're getting something because they decided that it's valuable to be able to do demonstration hauling, but you don't expect any of those lobsters from the demonstration hauling traps to ever go into the boat. They come out, they show them around, and they go overboard.
That is correct.
Okay. That seems to answer it, doesn't it, Representative Hutchins?
It does, except for timing, I think is something that we need to look at in this. And chances are people are only going to use a few traps because of this particular discussion we've just had. Because if demonstrations with people that come from away are probably going to be done in August, the traps probably aren't all coming up until November, maybe. So there's a long period of time. Do those 5 traps just come out of the water at the end of August when they're done? And they're then fishing with 795 traps? Because those 5 traps or 20 traps, whatever they might use, are worthless for that period of time.
Okay, another question to be answered. I mean, Representative Hepler, I know you have your hand up. Is it more to this or should I let the department answer it? Okay, all right. So department, I mean, does anything stop the person who's doing this, the season ends, from tying his regular colored buoy to one of his 800 traps, which is that demonstration trap, swap the buoy and now he can fish it, or she can fish it?
Yeah, so the intent is to ensure that the individual does not have over 800 tags total. So if they removed their demonstration license pots with different colors and then re-tagged other commercial traps, then they would be able to have their full complement of 800.
So it's not just the buoy color, it's that it's a different tag on those traps in the water. So they need to change the equipment totally to replace those 5 or 20. Okay, good.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Okay, you're shaking, Representative, so I'd say we're all clear. If I understand it, I know you do. Representative Hepler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to let you know relative to airboats is that Representative Tim Terrio has arranged for an airboat tour or demonstration or whatever with some members of IF&W. I'm sure if you contacted, it's for this Friday at noon. If you're interested, I suggest you contact him. It would be at McCoy Boat Launch in Brunswick. So, and if you can't make it, but there are any questions, specific questions you want me to address, ask, let me know.
Thank you for that. Very nice. Okay. No new hands. Last call. See you in 2 weeks. Remember, no Marine next week. Oh, Lynn.
No, I was just waving goodbye.
Okay,
Goodbye.
yeah. Okay, have a great week at all your other committees.
Except on the 22nd in IF&W.
Yes, yeah, I'm only talking Marine. I can't speak for that other committee. Thank you. See you there. Bye.